welcome all of you here and those who are watching us today to a Healthy Bones Masterclass. We're here at Livingston Senior Center with over 100 peer leaders and lead coordinators from over 30 different cities. And what we're going to do today is to try to understand how to do our exercises better and to be able to guide the people in our classes so that they too can have the expertise of somebody who's here in this room for knowing how to do the exercises. And here's what we're going to do. One peer leader is going to come up and briefly set up the exercises. We're not going to go into all the details that we might in our regular classes. And then another person will demonstrate them. And we're going to be serious about this. But it may turn out that the person who's demonstrating will show you how some of the participants do things incorrectly when they're beginning the class. So don't be afraid if, for example, a foot goes out like this or a knee is bent. It's all designed so that Julie Madsen, whom I'll introduce in a second, will be able to tell us the way we should do things and the reasons why. So Healthy Bones has had a grant from the Parker home in Piscataway, and we've done 2 classes there now. Julie Madsen, who is a personal trainer, a group exercise leader, someone who's been involved in exercising for over 30 years, has come in to help us in the classes to know how to do the exercises better. And she was so helpful that what we decided to do was invite her today to actually give all of us the benefit of her expertise and her experience. So we'll begin with our posture exercises. We have these little cards right here. I'll just kind of fix this up right here so that you can follow along with the exercises. And I've invited Lorraine and Adrian, who were at the Parker home this last time, to begin with the posture exercises. And Julie, if you would just come up here and just take over. You're the key person.
Okay. We're going to start with the first 3 exercises, which are the posture exercises. And these exercises are the beginning of our class, but they can actually be done several times a day to help you improve your posture, even on your own. So the first one, what you have to remember is to stand tall. If you can think about the earring that was demonstrated earlier, stand tall so that if you have that invisible earring, it's hanging over your shoulder, and keep your core straight. And the first exercise that we're going to do is the head tall one. And if you'll notice, I'm Lorraine and this is Adrian. Adrian is going to demonstrate the head tall posture for you. So she's standing straight with her head tall in a comfortable position. And what you're going to do is gently tuck your chin in so that you are keeping your head straight. You're going to hold it for 3 seconds. 1 and 2 and 3, relax. And you're going to repeat that 2 times. 2 and 2 and 3, relax. 3 and 2 and 3, relax. We're demonstrating it standing, but you can do it sitting as well. Excuse my back on this side. You can do it sitting down as well.
Lorraine, one thing I'd like to point out is Adrienne has wonderful posture, but what really helps you is that she doesn't have her knees locked. When you lock your joints, it's almost impossible for you to maneuver the rest of your body. So with a very soft joint, she's able to stand up tall, hold her abdominals in, and have good posture, but relaxed, because you want to be able to sustain this. You can't just do it for 2 seconds and then go back to where you were. You want to sustain this throughout the day.
The second posture exercise we're going to go over is the standing back bend. Again, standing up tall, and your feet should be about shoulder width apart, as Adrienne is demonstrating. And you're going to place your hands on your lower back and slowly, gently lean back as far as you comfortably can and hold that for 3 seconds. 1 and 2 and 3, relax. 2 and 2 and 3, relax. 3 and 2 and 3, relax. And this one, obviously, you'll do standing. Okay?
Good.
Okay. And the final posture exercise that we're going to demonstrate is called the chest stretch. Again, standing up straight, your arms will be at a 90-degree angle at your elbow, your palms facing forward and towards each other, and gently pull your shoulder blades back so that you're trying to get your shoulder blades to touch. 1 and 2 and 3, relax. 2 and 2 and 3, relax. 3 and 2 and 3, relax.
And here the most important part is that 90-degree angle.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, question.
Right, the first exercises are a warm-up or a strengthening type of exercise. This one's for posture. There's one after it that also is done without weights, and then we go to the weights.
One thing I do want to also point out, and I'm not sure if everybody is aware, it seems like it's such a simple thing that we should know, but when they say contract your abdominals, do you know what we're talking about? We're talking about taking these muscles in your belly. Your form and posture is everything. So you could be standing and not realize, or you could be doing this. You could be standing nice and tall, or you could be doing this. A lot of us, we don't realize when we walk, we're walking like this. All you got to do is suck it in, pull it up. I just lost 10 pounds, okay? Before and after. Yeah, it is. It's all, okay, this isn't all fat. This is my abdominal muscles. It's relaxed, and now it's contracted. And not everybody is aware when we say contract your abdominals, what I mean by that. And this is exactly what I mean by that. Contract your abdominals. Suck and pull them in. Pull them in. They're your muscles. The difference between abdominals and your stomach, muscles and your organ. Okay? Your abdominal muscles help your stomach and your organs be in where they should be instead of hanging out. And that happens, we all know. Okay? So let's go on from there. Form is everything. Without that, tennis, golf, swimming, form is everything.
I did have a question or comment. I mentioned that you could do these several times a day or every day. The ones without weights you can do every day. I'm correct in saying the ones with weights you would do every other day, correct? You would not do them every day.
Yeah, I would do them every other way. I would
Don't
do them every
the
other
weight
day.
ones every day. They would alternate every other day.
The way we talk about this chair stand class is that you should sit towards the front of the chair, and what you want to do is raise yourself up. There are 3 levels. You can start with putting your hands on the arms to get up. You want to do one? Second level is you cross your arms across your chest, and that makes it a little harder to get up. And most people in our class are now at the 3rd level, which is where you put your hands on your hips. Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should we do another? 2, 2, 3, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we do that 8 times. And believe me, by the time you get to 8, it's very hard.
On the emphasis, the hands go with fingers forward, like the picture.
I don't know which way we do it.
Doesn't matter.
Fingers towards the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to let you know, can I interject here, if you don't mind? Moving forward, one of the changes that are going to happen with that particular exercise, first of all, there's only 2 levels, okay? Level 1 is actually using your hands on the chair to help lift yourself up, and level 2 is without. But the new manual is going to, when it comes out, the hands are just going to be positioned on the hip, no longer doing this. We're finding as the nurse and me coming out, as people stand up, they have a tendency to throw their body because they're using their arms. So it's just something that's going to be coming, down the
When
road.
they say an emphasis is to use your legs to raise yourself. Don't use the momentum by pushing forward off the chair. You're coming up with your feet rooted to the floor and coming up using a slow count to get up. A slow count to get down.
Julie, any
Yes.
comments?
Yes. Well, Irene has demonstrated this very beautifully. The hardest part is right here to get this part stronger. So that's what you're going to concentrate on. She has a nice 90-degree angle. It might be in just a bit, but it's not severe like way back like this, where you're going to have a lot of pressure on your joints. So this is important, just the way she demonstrated it, that 90-degree angle. 90 degrees seems with the elbows and the knees, even the hips, to be the safe degree that we don't injure ourselves. The more angled you are and the more you use your hands, the weaker your legs are. What we're trying to do with this exercise is to strengthen the quadriceps, but not just the quadricep, this part, the part right down here by the knee. This part of the quadricep is very strong naturally because we walk, we go up and down the stairs all the time. But right here, right below here, the end of the quadricep, that's the part we are trying to strengthen. Okay?
Next exercise is, let's see, going up on the toes. And again, there are 2 levels. You can go up on 2 feet at a time, or you
Excuse me, just one moment. I noticed something that in all classes we talk about things on the floor. That weight I've been looking at.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of putting things
Yes.
on the floor.
Okay, so Irene will do both types. She'll start with 2 legs. Okay, ready?
Hip width apart and loose knees.
Ready?
Never lock the knees. Here
And
we go.
again, you do everything slowly. Slow up and slow down. 1, 2, go up on your toes. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, hold. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to go on 1 foot, which I say 3/4 of our class do 1 foot at a time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hold. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, hold. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now this exercise is very tricky. There's something in each exercise I call the sweet spot. When you have a range of motion from here to here, it's okay, it's comfortable, but when you can get a range of motion from here to here, you feel that little sweet spot because that's where our muscles need the work. So when we do this, most of us have heavy sneakers on. And sneakers are great for support. It's kind of like a girdle for your foot. But now you're not really getting that range of motion. So if you could do it and get all the way up, could you hold this for a second, please? You see the difference between here and here? This is my sweet spot right here, right here. I hardly have anybody do it on 1 foot for more than 3 tries. I want them to develop that muscle to get all the way up there and then slowly all the way down. Okay, so every class is individual. Some people can do it better than others. And if you do have a heavy sneaker on, you're going to find that your range of motion will be diminished. Try it on a carpet with some socks on so the ball of your foot won't, get hurt on the floor. And see the difference with that little extra range of motion.
Are you saying that we should just do it 3 times in class?
No, if you're only going to do it 1 foot.
With
1
foot.
I have not had any of my students do it more than 3 times correctly on a single foot. They're able to do it all the way up with both feet, all 10 times. And then after we do that, then just for giggles, we'll try 1 foot. And the most we can get properly in form is 3 times. Even myself, I find after the 3rd time, I'm wavering, and I don't want to do it if it's not in form. I don't want to do the exercise. Okay, I want to do the exercise correctly. Yes.
So should you wear a softer shoe when you're doing your bones? No.
Well, for this particular exercise, some of the gals don't mind. They have socks on. They don't mind actually taking their shoe off for just this particular exercise.
Are you saying you're recommending that because almost everyone comes to class with sneakers?
Well,
So
I
you're
recommend to my class,
You're recommending that they should do it on both feet?
yes. And you see the kind of sneaker I have on for this particular class?
Right.
You know, it's a little softer than the running shoe. Like that sneaker is fine. That sneaker, you're going to find you're going to be a little diminished. Yes.
At this point, if you
Yes.
don't mind, one of the things we do stress in our Project Healthy Bones class is that you wear a stable, non-skid shoe. Okay, I understand the
Yes.
weight of the shoes makes a difference, but doing the actual count will provide you with being able to perform the exercise correctly. So please don't take your shoes off. I just
Okay,
stress
well,
that
we
as a safety,
have
okay?
a more casual,
Yeah,
I guess,
Because
clientele
we're
there.
focusing more on the Project Healthy Bones.
Sure,
so.
sure.
Thinking maybe a compromise is we do 7 with 2 feet, and then the last 3 on 1 foot.
You could try
The
that.
next exercise is sort of the reverse of going up on your toes. You go up on your heel, and you feel a good stretch in the back of the calf. Go ahead.
Loose legs.
Maybe we should turn the chair around while you do that. Okay, like that. Okay. One,
Hip width apart.
yeah, feet apart, and straight up as much as you can. Okay. 1, 2, 3, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the main thing with this is you feel that stretch in the back of your calf.
And again, I just want to point out, Irene does these exercises to perfection. When she lifts her toes up and she's on her heels, what a lot of people do is they bring their booty out. Okay, where she did not do that, she just went straight up, she kept her posture, and that's something very important to feel it in your calf. Thank you, Irene.
I really have one more.
Okay, I forget what this is called, the leg, what is it? Thank you, reverse leg raise. And what you do is you stand on 1 foot, and you keep your thighs together and your knees together, and you lift up 1 foot about, I guess, the 90-degree angle again, and you hold it there. Okay? 1, 2, 3, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, hold, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course, when we do 8 on one side, then we do the other leg. And that's all the posture, the balance, I guess.
One important thing that Irene was demonstrating, when she brings her heel up, she keeps her thighs together. It's so easy. You want to bring your thigh forward. You're going to see that. You're going to see people do the flamingo. And you want to keep your thighs together and just bring that foot back.
And is it stationary, leg,
It's
knee,
soft, yeah.
loose?
Always stand on a soft joint.
Number 1 helper here, Margot. We are doing the last of the balance exercises, and the first is the tandem stand. There are 2 levels to tandem stand. The first one, you are holding on to the chair. You're going to stand next to the chair. You're going to hold on to it for support, and then you're going to put your right foot in front of your left, heel to toe, balancing your weight between both feet, and you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Bring the feet back, get your balance again before putting the other foot in front, and then you do balance your weight between both feet, looking straight ahead and doing the count again. Thank you, Margot. Level 2 would be not holding onto the chair and doing the exact same movement, so one foot in front of the other without holding on to the chair, looking straight ahead, balancing your weight and doing the count on one foot, and then bringing your feet back together and putting the other foot. And you do 4 for each foot in front of the other.
This can be a very challenging exercise for some people. And what does help is holding your core in. It helps so much.
Okay, and then we have the waiter's walk. And the waiter's walk level 1, you're going to stand along a wall, which we do not have a wall, so she's doing, well, level 1 would be against the wall with your arms at that 45-degree angle. 90.
This way,
90-degree
45?
angle.
This way.
Yes, like you're holding a tray. And level 1, you're just walking in a straight line. Your feet do not have to be heel to toe, but looking straight ahead, good posture, tummy tucked. And level 2 would be not holding on. So.
And your chin up helps rather than walking down. Nice chin up.
Focus on something.
And you do 20 steps in one direction and turn and do 20 steps in the other direction. Level 2 is, you had a chair there, not the wall, but a chair. Heel to toe on level 2.
And if I could make a little correction here, I'll just take the microphone. Actually, level 1, when you're doing the tandem walk, when you're in the tandem walk, is of course touching a wall or having some support. When you're doing the waiter's walk, you really can't do that because your hands are involved like this. So you can leave a little bit of space between your feet, making it easier for you to do that exercise. So that's one thing that you can do. Level 1 is always heel to toe. The point of the exercise is to train our muscles, to tighten them. So that's why we want to have our feet nicely in line. If we're like this, we don't quite get the exact same benefit. Any questions?
Yes.
It's like a tightrope.
On level 1, don't we walk 20?
Yes.
Yes, but we're just doing it for demonstration purposes here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You start off with the tandem. You start off with the tandem. That's the precursor, and then once everybody's like doing that, then you go up to the waiter's walk. You try, but you have to be individual, and you don't want to make anybody feel bad, so maybe you might slow it down a bit, and then you'll find that the weaker links will rise up to the occasion. Yes. Well, we do 20-20 with both. Yeah. If you have the time and you have the space.
Okay, thank you.
And actually in the program, if I could just add it, you take 20 steps forward as the tandem walk, and then you take 20 steps backwards as the waiter's walk. So that's the most efficient use of your time and your space.
Oh, okay.
Good. Thank you.
Question over there?
No. Well,
No.
if you were carrying a tray,
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be carrying it like that. Your elbows would be.
We're taught
Yeah.
to do it this way.
Yeah, spotting is what you're talking about. A lot of times when you turn or you find that you don't have the best balance, if you focus on something, could be anything that's not moving, and you're walking towards it, it will help you balance. And that's called spotting. Dancers use that all the time. See the ballerinas that turn. They're actually looking at something, turning, and then their head goes right back to that spot. That's the only way they can do it without getting too dizzy.
Julie, the question that seems to be coming from other people is,
Yes.
what is the position of your hands or your arms? If you look like this, look at your shoulders. Could you carry anything like this when you're walking with something? So really it's a natural position where you're able to have good posture. If your arms are out like this, you're getting too much of the benefit of
A big tray.
Right. So just like this. This is really a good way to do it.
naturally
Perfect.
straight.
I know, we work with total joint replacement patients, and after a hip replacement, a lot of patients have certain precautions to follow. And one of the precautions is you can't cross your legs, okay?
Okay.
But you have to follow those precautions till your surgeon tells you differently. He's the one that's going to say, you don't need to follow your precautions anymore, okay? So that gives you an idea.
Sitting straight in our chair with our back away, the lower back can be touching, but not the upper back. We're supporting the weighted leg with our hands and lifting it straight out. And we do it to 1 and we'll start over. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And we do that 8 times. And notice how Barbara is sitting up straight and
And her foot.
and she's not touching in between.
Yes.
How much? I don't know what's in there, but
It's individual.
we gradually increase.
You'll do whatever you're capable of doing.
Question about the weight, is the notch on the back you put on or in the front? Doesn't matter.
We did get a note from Sally that the knot should go in the front.
According to the manufacturer's directions, that's all you have to know.
So really, I mean,
It's more comfortable for your ankle. Then that's fine. That's fine. It's fine.
I think it sort of depends where your weights are also. And the next 2 weight exercises are done standing.
I would keep the foot relaxed. I would not go into a flexion, but if you have your sneaker on, it's going to be, it's going to look like you're going into a flexion. We're not flexing. The foot is like hanging out. You're going up from the knee and then down. You're not purposely flexing. Everybody's feet are different. I'm very knock-kneed, and I took ballet for years, so I could do this, and most people can't. Yeah. So my natural position, if you can see, my foot is angled up. So if I'm straight, my foot's here. If I'm like this, my knee's turned in. Everybody is different, but rule of thumb, you want to go up straight, not with a flexion, just a relaxed foot, and down. We're working this area right here. This is going to help this exercise.
Now for our back leg lift, we're holding on lightly. Our knees are not locked, they're soft, and we're bending forward a little from the hips so we're not putting a strain on our back. And we're swinging our leg, which is perfectly parallel to the other one, like a pendulum going back.
We both Barbara. Okay. I want you to notice how Barbara is not moving her shoulders. She's in the correct position and she's moving from the hip. Okay? She's not swinging back and forth. And also, she has equal pressure on both hands, for those of you over here that can't see. She has equal pressure. A lot of times you'll see one person hanging out like that. Yes, you want to keep everything square. You want to keep your shoulders, your hips square. Your form, shoulders square, hips square. You're going back as much as your joint will allow. Then you come together. You bring your feet together. If you're able to, not put your weight on that foot. If you can do multiple repetitions with it coming back and together, that would be great. That's our goal, to be able to do 8 repetitions without putting the weight on the foot. Obviously, if you can't, you have to stop at 5 or 4, take a break. That's what you need to do. The whole thing with balance is to be equal, not to compensate. You're compensating. Okay, the answer is no. The answer is no.
But, okay, so I should keep my weight
Yes.
on 2 feet when I'm doing it?
You have a weight-bearing foot,
Right.
but you're not shifting. You're stabilizing your body, and you're just lifting your leg, and you're balancing yourself without shifting, without overcompensating.
You don't have to go that far back.
Exactly.
Okay, Okay, and the last one, is the side leg lift. And that one is done where we're standing up straight, our weight is, okay. With the side leg lift, our knees also can be a little soft, and we're not bending as much forward as in the back leg lift. And we're keeping our two legs parallel, and we're raising our weighted leg out to the side.
The discomfort is never in the leg that has the weight on it. The discomfort is in the other one, supporting it. It's supporting.
Thank you, Barbara. Go ahead. Yes, you have the weight-bearing leg. Ladies, thank you. You have the weight-bearing leg. Now, this particular exercise, your range of motion is going to be diminished because our legs are not made to go way out to the side. Barbara is leading with her heel. Her toe is not pointed up. Her foot is straight, absolutely parallel. She's doing this perfectly. Holding her tummy in, tucking her butt in a little bit so she doesn't have a sway back.
Position of her hands.
Always your hands should be equally distributed. She's not putting weight on one side more than the other. Again, you'll find some people lean, Barbara, and show them how and bend your arm. And your whole body is out of alignment. And this is what happens when you shift your weight to the standing leg. You know, you end up being like this. Yeah, I can get my leg up higher, but look at the rest of my body. When you're in form, you know, ladies, please listen. Thank you so much. When you're in form, your range of motion here will be diminished. Her leg is soft. It's hard to see here, but her leg is soft here. She's not locking this joint. And she can only come up so far with her foot in the perfect position there. And she's working the muscles intended. Yes.
We were taught pigeon toe, that your foot should be pigeon toe.
Well, that's the overcompensation. When I don't have good balance, I'm using it for my wall, okay? Because most people, they want to do this. They want to do the duck, okay? So in order to get them straight, we have them go down. So when they're not thinking about it, then they're straight. That's what was happening there, I'm sure.
First exercise is the arm curl. In these chairs, because of the, what are these called?
The arms. The arms.
Okay, it's harder to do it. Okay, so.
Yeah.
All right. So the arm comes up at the count of 2. Your palm is going to be facing forward, and then you slowly, in a smooth motion, will bring it up, and then also come down slowly at the count of 7. You turn it again back to the neutral position. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
One of the beautiful things that Donna is doing is she has a strong wrist. A lot of times you'll see this, the carpal tunnel wrist right over here. And what's happening here is you're just using leverage. You want to keep that wrist nice and strong, almost like you have a splint on it. Okay? See how perfectly straight her arms are here, her wrists are? That's going to give you the strength that you need.
The second exercise is the shoulder rotation.
Can't get off the chair much more.
So the arms are going to be
90 degrees.
Your lower arm is parallel to the floor.
Yeah.
Your wrists are locked, and the elbows are locked in by the sides, and you're going to move your arms slowly to as far as you can, and then bring them back to the same position you started from. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and
Now, Donna has really an incredible range of motion. Do this again, Donna.
1 and 2.
And just hold it there for me. She's one of the few people I've ever seen that can get out this far. I'm telling you, this is hard to do. With her elbow still into her waist. When you do this, most of the time when you go out that far, your elbow will be coming out of your waist. Yes. It's for the rotator. Yes, it's for the rotator.
So this is basically how far most
Yes.
people go.
Yes, it involves the back, but it affects the rotator cuff. But if you can see, she keeps this at a 90 degree, and her elbow is into her waist. The minute you come out too far, see your elbows, do you see? Just try it, so you won't. So you'll believe me. Try it so you'll believe me. Okay. The minute you come out beyond your range of motion, everybody's range of motion is different. You'll see, the elbow's coming away. That's it. That's your range of motion. Everybody's range of motion is different.
Our next exercise is going to be the shoulders back. And we're going to, this time, our upper arms are away from our sides. Our arms are parallel with the floor. Our palms are facing down. We have straight wrists, good posture, and we're going to bring our arms back slowly, concentrating on bringing our shoulder blades together as we're doing this.
Right in here.
1 and 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And we'll just do that 8 times.
Yes. What Donna is concentrating on is the squeezing right here. Remember we were talking about that little sweet spot? You could come back, and it could be kind of comfortable, but then you can go back that little bit extra and give it a squeeze. And that's where you're really getting to the belly of the muscle.
In class, I noticed that some people are doing it with their elbows going back toward their sides. I was under the impression we're supposed to keep our elbows away like that.
I'm not understanding.
In other words,
the
when
difference.
people are going back, they're going like this.
Oh,
instead of
no,
like
your
that.
elbows are out.
Clarify the exercise for
Okay.
everybody, okay? The exercise actually, what it is exactly that. You're at a
like a
90-degree angle where you're comfortable. You don't want your shoulders raising up. You want to keep your shoulders down and comfortable, okay? So your arms are going to be at a 90-degree angle. You see how I have 90 degrees? All you're doing, you're leaving your hands like this. All you're doing is squeezing your shoulder blades and bring it back. You're not doing this.
Right here.
We're not doing this because I see a lot of people do that. You're actually staying in this position and you're just
right
squeezing
here.
your shoulder blades.
Turn around. Can you turn?
So the work of the energy
right
is
here.
coming from the back, not the arms.
Right. It's
Correct.
not the arms,
You're
it's
working
the back.
it from right in here.
Yeah, you're pulling from the back.
Yep, your arms are still, and I don't want your arms up here either, by the
No.
way. You want it as high up as you feel comfortable, okay? Because if you go up like this, your shoulder's going to go up. So you have to think of yourself, good posture, relax, put your hands in the position, and it's just pinching of the shoulder blades and back. That's what the exercise is. Yes.
Already.
If that's where you're comfortable, you might not be comfortable up as high as she
I
was.
just see so many people going.
Well, that's wrong.
And it can't seem to give them a clue to step out of their bed.
They should not be going like this.
put them in the
This is not the exercise. It's right here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, we're going to. Right, we're going to continue with the last hand weight exercise, which is the arms forward and back. For this, we're standing up. Donna's standing up with soft knees and feet slightly apart. And she's going to bring her right arm forward only of 45 degrees, not more than that. Sometimes people have a tendency to go to 90, and that's defeating the purpose of the exercise. 45 degrees. Straight wrist, and then while that arm's going forward, our left arm should be going back 45 degrees. Well, and then okay, we're going to count, and then then both arms are going to end up at our sides, and then we switch to the left arm going forward and the right arm going back, and then we come and we end up at our hips. 1 and 2 and 3 and hold. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And 1 and 2 and 3 and hold. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
Yes. Okay, this seems like a very simple exercise, but the hard part isn't the arm in the front. It's the arm in the back. So basically, if you just remember to keep your elbow soft, not lock any joint, doesn't have to be bent, just soft, just soft. Concentrate on the back. The front will take care of itself. Concentrate on the back and see, that's where your challenge of range of motion is going to be, the back one, more than the front.
So it should go up 45 degrees, the back one?
If you're capable of it. You know, I'm not capable of it. No, we're not talking this. We're not talking a bent elbow. Soft joint is different than a bent elbow. It's just not locked, okay?
Could she turn around so we can
Sure, she does it beautifully. Absolutely, please turn. 1 and...
Which way?
Okay, 1 and 2.
And 3 and hold. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1, 2 and 2 and 3 and hold. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
And we're doing the best you can. Going back is very difficult. It's very difficult, and that's the challenge of this exercise. That's what you're working on.
Thank you.
And then you do the Okay.
Only bringing your arm back till you feel comfortable, okay?
Right.
There's no angle. Everybody's different, okay? The most important thing about this exercise is maintaining your core, okay? Is actually making sure that your belly is in, that you really have good posture in this exercise, okay? And then, yes, you're going to be doing the exercise, but you only go back as far as you can. And you come back down.
An individual range of
Yes.
motion. Not everybody has that flexibility.
The other thing I wanted to stress, and I thought who did the you were wonderful because you kept your eyes straight. All these exercises, I can't stress it enough. You really have to look
Focus.
forward. You know, find a spot on the wall. Look at that wall because that's going to help maintain your balance. You know, I saw some of us looking down, but that's okay. But I mean, we really need to make sure that you find a spot on the wall and you focus while doing any exercise for this.
It's important to keep your shoulders parallel with your hips, not twisting.
Yeah, we always say ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Well, you just right. Your shoulders need to be down for that exercise. Because as soon as you go any higher, they're going to start lifting up. Again, it's the posture, it's your body.
Once you go out of your form of any exercise, it's time to stop that range of motion. You've reached your range of motion. Sometimes we try and have a bigger range of motion than we're actually capable of, and that's when we go out of form. So really watch your form. The core should be in every single exercise, whether you're sitting or standing. That core should be tight, and a lot of people want to hold their breath when they put their tummy in. You have to learn to talk and not hold your breath when you have your tummy in. Okay. What's next?
I'm going to do the stretching exercise. Excuse me. And the first one, of course, is going to be the calf stretch. And of course, we start with the right foot. Oh, thank you very much. And as you can see, Mary has a bend in her right knee, and the left leg and foot are toward the rear. And you should be standing flat on both feet, both toes and heels. You should be looking straight ahead, and your back should be straight at the same time. And of course, you'll feel this exercise in your left calf. And as I always tell people that are in the class, if you're not feeling it in the left calf, you have to pull your left leg further to the rear. And then of course we count 1 and 2 and 3. We don't put the end in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth and so on. And then of course we turn around and do the exercise the opposite way. Exactly the opposite of what we just did. Again, straight back, looking straight ahead. And of course, again, if you're you're not feeling the stretch in the other ankle, then you have to pull that leg further to the rear as well. So that's the nature of the exercise.
Okay, could you hold that, please? I want you to notice that her lunge, okay, the knee is over the heel. All right, the knee is over the heel. When you bring your ankle too much forward, okay, let's all listen, okay? When you bring your ankle too much forward, then this knee is not protected anymore. This is the perfect position. Her foot is straight, not to the side. Could you put your foot to the side? This one? Yeah. Now she's losing her calf stretch. You can't even feel it. She's going to bring it back. Now her foot is in the position for the calf stretch. Her hips are equal, her shoulders are equal, her hands are equal. Everything is equal here. Okay. Do you see that? Maybe you could do this one to the side so everybody can see. Thank you, Mary. Beautiful position. And her abdominals are in. Okay, well they are now. Okay, thank you.
And we'll start with the right leg. Your kneecaps should be in alignment with each other. And you pick up on your right foot and you hold it up in that position. If you can't do it that way, then the manual says you could do it either by your sock or you can pull it up on the bottom of your pants leg. But in any event, you're looking straight ahead, you have a straight back, and you have a soft knee on your standing leg. And we count to 30 in that position. So just give you an example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. And then of course we change position and we do the opposite leg. And that's the nature of that exercise.
Okay, this one is a very hard exercise for some people. And the hard part is some people can't even get to the point where they can hold their leg. What I try and have them concentrate on is your first goal is to have your knees together. Some people will do this. You see this? This is my flamingo. Okay, I could sleep like this sometimes. Okay, and some people will do this. My mother could see me now. Okay, so that's what I encourage. Your first goal is to have your knees together. Secondly, this angle, do this again, Mary. Okay, unless you're extremely flexible, to have your heel to your booty is really a challenge. Some of us that wish that we were in Cirque du Soleil can do that. But what I recommend more is to just have your knees together like this and pull back just slightly. And that should be sufficient for your clients that are really having a hard time, because this is one of the hardest exercises to help someone with. You have a goal. I want to do this exercise. What's my goal? What am I going to think about? I'm out here. I can't do it at all. What's the first thing I should think of trying to do it? So the first thing I'm thinking of is, if I'm here, to try and pull my leg back to here. Those are the two things you're going to see most of all. This and this. Those are the two things you're going to have challenges with. This is what I see in all of my classes, no matter if it's healthy bones or not. So if you're out here, you're going to work on getting them together here. If you're here, you're going to help them work on getting it straight there. Those are the two things that I see.
And in class or at home, if you want to try it like this, you'll see that your quadricep muscle is not even engaged. It has to be pulled in here, and then you feel the muscle working. Julie, one other important question. Some of the people in the classes, or the people who are here, don't need to hold on during a stretch because their muscles are already strong. Is there a benefit to holding on?
Well, I have the school of thought, if you're not holding on, your muscles are engaged because they have to do their job, okay? if I'm holding on, if I'm supporting something when I'm stretching, I'm able to relax. Once I'm relaxed, then my muscle can stretch easier. Does that make sense? So this, when you're working on a stretch, it's really not a matter of balance anymore. It's a matter of stretching. So we'll forego the balance, okay? And we'll work on the stretch.
The next one, of course, is going to be the overhead stretch. And we do that from a seated position. And of course, we take our fingers and we interlock them, and we raise our arms and hands over our head with our palms facing skyward. And when you do that exercise, if you're doing it properly, you should feel that in your stretch in your rib cage and in your arms. And of course, we hold that position for a count of 30. Our back is straight, we have good posture, and we're looking straight ahead.
One of the things that you'll see often in class is people will want to arch their back. When they do this, they're going to just want to arch their back. A straight spine, keeping that form, holding your core in will help you keep that straight spine. When your core is pushing against your back, okay, that will give it that little extra check to be straight. If it's out, it's going to be too easy to be that sway back.
Julie, what muscles
Yes.
does that use, or does that relax?
Well, this is a stretch. You're trying to stretch all through your tricep. You have your forearm. Some people have a problem with the wrists if you have carpal tunnel. Okay, so just have a very gentle angle here. You don't have to go up too far if you have that carpal tunnel. Yes.
And the next exercise we're going to be doing is the shoulder stretch. And so we take our right palm and we place it on our left shoulder. And we take our left palm and place it on our right arm just above the right elbow. And in that position, of course, we count. And when you do that exercise properly, you should feel that exercise in your back and in your arms. In that particular position, you're going to feel the stretch in your right shoulder. We pull in the direction of the right hand to feel the stretch in the right shoulder.
Okay. When you stretch, it's very important to be relaxed. And this hand is supporting the arm, because if she didn't have this hand, now the arm would have to use its muscles to stay up. The minute she supports it, the muscles can relax and she can have a nice stretch.
Is she supposed to move that arm, push it a little bit?
Well, Mary is very flexible, so she's able to put a little pressure and bring her arm around a couple times if she wanted to. Okay.
My point was, would it be more beneficial to push a little bit?
A little bit. Now, there's a difference when you stretch and you're using another force pulling on the muscle. Okay? So this other force is dictating how far you're going to stretch. You have to be very careful when you do that little pull that you don't go too far. You have to really listen to your body.
Richard was a radio announcer, and I'm going to ask you all to relax and do the exercise the way he suggests that you do it.
Okay, Sally asked me to go through this exercise from start to finish because it's the last one on the list of exercises that we do. And what I like to do with this exercise is send my participants home feeling very relaxed. So I slightly embellish it, but try to utilize the benefits that are listed in the manual. So what we're going to do, and as Mary will show you, we start off, of course, by dangling our hands and our arms by the sides of the chair so that we stabilize our bodies. Because the only thing that we actually use in this exercise is our heads. And of course what we do, we start off by gently tilting our right ear towards our right shoulder. And as we get down into that position, you'll feel your neck muscles stretching out. And we count to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're going to change position, and we're going to gently and very slowly, we're going to tilt our left ear towards our left shoulder. And as you're doing the exercise, you should become very relaxed. And we're going to count to 8 in this position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to continue this very feel-good exercise by once again tilting our right ear towards our right shoulder. Once again, feel those neck muscles stretching out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you're still feeling any tension, just let it go and let every muscle feel totally relaxed as we wind up the exercise by tilting our left ear towards our left shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the neck stretch in a capsule. We've done all 4 of them, 1 on one shoulder, 2, 3, 4. So that's the way we always end our class in Millburn.
Let me just make one little observation. When we're doing this, we want to try to keep our faces forward rather than go like that, which we tend to do, so that you're not twisting and turning at the same time. So, of course, I don't have much flexibility, but just keeping your faces forward, okay? So listen, here we are at the end of our class. And what we want to do is to thank Julie Madsen from Connors. We also want to thank all of the peer leaders who set up and modeled the exercises. That was very, very good. And then a few questions. And now that we're at the end, of course, we are not going to be videotaped in a second, so we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to KK Hodapp and the Morristown Medical Center for having us have the possibility of having this tape today so that we can share it with other classes. So KK,